Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for checking out today's video. And if you are checking out today's video, you need to get back to basics. And actually, as a full-time golf coach, it's something that it's the very first thing I look at with every single lesson I teach, because we can't make massive and substantial changes to the golf swing if we're in a poor starting position. A lot of the times we need to look at shallowing the golf club or steepening the golf club or improving the impact position. We can't do that really unless we've got what I would say is a close to neutral grip. Don't mind being a bit weak or a little bit strong. We set parameters. Too much outside of those parameters is very, very difficult for me as a golf coach to change and improve your golf swing, but it's also difficult for you as players, whether you're getting lessons or not, to really improve as well. What you'll eventually find is that you are able to get round and improve through practice, which is a great way of improving because it becomes more natural, ability starts to transcend through. But I want to use today's video just saying let's get the basics right, because they're the ones that I do it as well. If you look through some of my recent videos, and I was in Scotland, I was doing my editing, and God, the posture's horrendous. You just get a little bit lazy. You just start to get a bit lazy, and the shoulders start to get rounded. The alignment starts to go off, and yeah, it's so easy to get lazy in this game, isn't it? Because we are out here for 4 hours, and if we play 2 or 3 times in a week, it's 12 hours of golf. We have to try and stay in good position, so it's naturally very, very difficult to do. So to talk through basic fundamentals, we're going to start with grip. So this is all for right-handed golfers. So flip reverse it if you're a lefty. Left hand's going to go onto the grip first. I'm always going to keep the bottom of the grip in the fingers of the hand, okay? We do not want to see it in the palm or the pad of the hand. It's got to go from the bottom of the little finger to the middle of the index. And what I would suggest you do is grab a pen, grab a marker, grab a marker that you use your golf balls with, and draw a little line across there. Maybe even just do a couple of dots. Just a little reminder, you're allowed to do that as well. Just a reminder as to where to put the golf club in that left hand. As you do so and you put the left hand over the top, you'll find that what I call the chubby bit of the left hand goes on top of the club, and you'll start to see 2, maybe 2.5 knuckles. The line between the index finger and the thumb is going to point up towards the right chest at setup. So that's a good left hand position. Gives you flexibility in the wrist to work up and down, and also a little bit of rotation for what we call extension and flexion as well. The right hand then comes in. I interlock, but when we interlock, it doesn't have to be, I hate this word because it can be quite confusing. We don't have to lock. It's not a lock. It's not gripped forever and you can't move. It's just slightly intertwined. Let's call it the intertwine. So it's just a very small, loose intertwine, and the club also goes through the fingers. Now, the most common one I see is that where it goes through the palm, and that is something we have to avoid, because what it's doing, it reduces any sort of radial and ulnar movement in the wrist. So radial and ulnar is that movement up and down. It massively reduces that because the hand's on the wrong angle. It can't physically do it. When it does do it, it goes the wrong direction relative to the swing. So making sure that right hand is in the correct position, or as close to correct as possible, honestly, is so important. All right, so make sure it goes through the fingers, and when you pop that right hand over the top of the left thumb, you'll notice 1, maybe 2 knuckles on the right hand, and again the line between the index finger and the thumb goes up towards the right chest. So as we build it into the fingers, over the top, slight intertwine into the fingers again, over the top of the left thumb, and there we have it. We've got a bit of space there in the pad. I can actually get my finger up there. I don't want it gripping into the palm of my hand, okay? That's your grip check. So I think I do this all the time now. Is I always like build it, clubbing behind the ball, left hand, right hand, get a little bit of a waggle going, get comfy, make sure I've got flexibility through the wrist on both sides as I'm starting to swing. Last thing I want is that right hand in there. I don't want to see the forearm pointing straight out in front of you, because now there's a lot of these movements going on. The club face has been adjusted. So much manipulation needs to take place for a straight-ish shot. I say ish because no one hits the golf ball straight. We always shape it. We do something with the ball. What we want to do is, again, parameters. Keeping the parameters not here, keeping it here. Okay, so what I want to try and do, put the club in behind the ball, left hand in, intertwine with the right hand, and then we've got control. Next thing up is the posture. Okay, very, very simple way to build a posture, and very, very amateurish, very beginnerish, but you know what? Just to start with, put the club on your belt buckle, put the shaft on your nose, pull the shoulders back, and just tilt forward. Feel a little pull in the hamstrings, a slight bend of the knees, build your grip. There you go, there's your posture. Okay, very, very simple movement. Now you're probably thinking, how far forward do I tilt? That's a great question. How far forward do you tilt? Well, first answer, that's 90 degrees. Oh, I can't go 90 degrees this way. 45, slightly up from 45. Okay, so just a little tilt here. So when your arms hang naturally from the shoulders, the club hits the ground. If I go too far forward, my shaft of the club gets too low. So I want the shaft of the club to point towards my belly button as I go down. So there, tilt forward, bend the knees, drop my hands down, club points towards my belly button. Okay, so really amateurish, really beginner way of kind of doing this, but great little way just to kind of check yourself. You'll feel it here. And now what that gives you, it gives you flexibility in your shoulders. Oh, unless you went to the gym yesterday. God, that's tight. It gives you flexibility in your shoulders as you're rotating, because this, Christ, you can't move. All right, you literally can't get past 20 degrees. And when your body can't move, what takes over? What takes over, ladies and gents, is your arms. They are a problem in the golf swing, because we get here, flexibility goes, wrists go, we start to get too much what we call extension in the wrist, and then the elbow works up and the elbow bends and we're in all sorts of trouble. And we see that so often. Why? Because of poor posture. Are you a golfer as well that thinks they're not very flexible? Now, you might not be, but what I often see is poor posture leads to poor rotation, which makes you think you've got very poor flexibility. You might have enough flexibility for a golf swing, but you don't set yourself correctly to allow for it. That's the key, setting yourself correctly to allow for it. Okay, so again, I'm going to build my posture now. So I'm going to do this a bit at home. I don't want people to see me do that. It's a bit embarrassing. Just keep doing that, just keep pushing forward, stick your backside out as you tilt forward, keeping the shoulders back, a little bit of a bend in the knees, and you're good and you're ready to go. You're strong, you're solid to smash it. Okay, so I'm going to this shot now with good posture. So what I do is I often take my grip first. So I'm going to build the grip, lift the club up, feet shoulder width apart, posture, bend the knees. By this point I've already lined up from behind, so posture's good, grip's good. Oh, look at that. The shot's good as well. So lovely little strike and a very nice comfortable movement, comfortable in the rotation. I can physically feel myself being able to turn. So back to basics will never ever get old, trust me on that. I still do it now. When I play too much golf, my right hand gets too weak, okay? Which encourages me to have an open club face at the top. And because my right hand's weak, I can't release the club back to neutral, which gives me the push cut, okay? That's my bad shot. I can just reel it off straight away. I know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I know exactly why it's come, but I haven't been made aware of it until I've hit the bad shot, until it's too late, okay? So even me now, when I say that, I don't say as if I'm bloody one of the best players in the world, 'cause I'm not. I'm useless compared to them. But no matter what level of golf you are, whether you are a beginner handicap, beginner player, or high handicap to mid to low to pro, we need to have a routine. Go through and the basics are the one, okay? Basics, grip, posture, ball position, width of stance. Feel the ability in yourself to be able to rotate. If you can rotate, if you can control the club face to relative neutral position at impact, you're going to get better at golf, or you're going to get even better at golf, or you're just going to be more consistent overall. So guys, I hope this helps. If it does help, smash down on that like button for me, please. And also, if you're new to the channel, loads of content gone from the lads like Rick, Finchy, Fry. So if you've come across from those channels, thanks very much for checking me out. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's a channel you're going to come back to. And if so, please do also hit that subscribe button. But from a wonderfully sunny, and the weather now is so much better than when I left. Beautiful Dubai, Jumeirah Golf Estates, looking pristine. We are October, November, we are 2.5 months away from hosting the European Tour DP World Tour Championships. The best players in Europe are going to be here in 2.5 months tackling this golf course, and I'm going to be here as well. Guys, thanks for watching. See you again very soon.